when you're starting out on a new writing project or just becoming a writer in general, we're about to do a big up level or a lot of changes into your authorpreneur type writer barding, soul barding business. What are you going to do as far as facing the fact that the imp is lying to you, and how can you embrace the true inner self through the muddy muck of the inner muddy middle? Let's have a chat. Welcome on in, everybody. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of sci-fi fantasy with dashes of romance and nerdy references, such as the Myrna Annals, Vitae Langica, and more. I am also currently opening offerings for one-on-one coaching, or even if you're looking for an editor, do come and fill my books for the rest of 2026, description box below. Let's sit down and have a little bit of a chat about the 4 things that a lot of us as authors, when we're at the bottom of a hiking trail into our career and changes therein or any kind of project therein, probably are facing. There's 4 factors we're looking at. Number 1, we are considering the long nights, the time sink fallacy. There is something called the sunken cost fallacy. I spent so much time and money and blah, 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 and blah. I did this thing for you and I did that thing for you. It's all sunken cost fallacies. It hurts, but we're not supposed to use it as a deterrent forever. These long nights tend to, for the author, feel like that lonely island. I don't feel super duper lonely while writing a lot of the time. One, I host and lurk about in the backs silently of other people's sprints live and on the replay. Also, on top of that, I'm sometimes actually in actual like Zooms and Google Meets with different people, sometimes chatting while writing. That's why I compare doing what I do here on this channel in those regards as feeling like we are part of a cafeteria table. You're welcome to come and go to other channels as you please, and I'm glad to have you here in your mode, however you're able to be for as long as you're able to be. The long nights are long. We are burning the midnight oil for a reason is something that my father would often remind me, especially around like exam time. We're sometimes burning the midnight oil for a reason. It really has an intention behind it that we've put so much of our souls into, so much of our lives have been occupied with. And therefore, instead of looking at the negative, kind of like how a ball does when it's underwater, yeah, there's a sunken cost. Eventually, it's going to pop back up and be above the surface and be totally cool to share with others. Number 2 is going to be the overwhelming workload. Some of you have heard me tell stories about what it was like first starting this channel, because even though I was teaching from home and starting my business, I was still working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, barely taking any time off. And some people are like, yeah, Jenna, that's why you're so burned out. My dudes, if you think burnout is my problem, that's the surface. The iceberg went way deeper. I had teacher burnout when I met you all. I am done past that phase in my life. It was something far, far deeper. Thank goodness I'm on the treatment, mentality, healings, and so ons to get what I need. That all also applies. But also, you're looking here at, we as indie authors particularly feel like we have to do it all alone. I very much was a one-woman team at the beginning. I'm not now. I work with an amazing artist. I have a co-author for a TTRPG. I've done collaborative live streams with quite a few different people. I've presented in-person events and not with quite a few different people. I've helped plan so many different things and do so many different things. And I'm so grateful for those opportunities that, yeah, it was a lot of work. I didn't do half as much of it alone as the lonely island sunken cost fallacy of it all wants us to think. Therefore, number 3, we're so alone. Yeah. We feel isolated. However, I've already mentioned a couple of other ways that while you're writing, while you're creating, while you're building, you can interact with other people. Now, what about your local library? Do they have a group you can build? Or if you want to facilitate a group, if there's not one already there, Is there a local coffee shop where you and writers can meet up? I've taught writing classes at my local metaphysical shop, even, and attended classes about writing at Transformer conventions, anime conventions, and just because workshops pop up at places where you would never expect to find them. I wasn't half of as isolated and alone as I thought. Now, at the time, yeah, it felt pretty lonely, especially here in the last 6 months, because I kind of have gone off on my own and really hermited super duper hard. At the same time, we do that when we need to, but does it last forever? Like the journey of the fool through tarot, the hermit does go up on the mountain. Eventually, the hermit's got to come back down. So that is kind of part of the hermit's lesson a little bit, knowing when to come back into town. Link, do go to town and don't only hang with the Princess Zelda, hang with everybody else, because they're probably who you're going to spend most of your time with anyway, right? Right. And that also goes into building your fan bases. My fans are amazing, amazing readers. Some of them are writers. Some of them are not. And a lot of my readers who gravitate toward my books love that my characters always seem to be this very, we love you and we'll see you when we see you, come hang with us attitude. Kind of like, come to my village, eat at my table. Are you putting that even into your readership as early as writing the books? It's called anticipating your reader, by the way. There's an actual term for it in the writing world. We use it more from like the professional nonfiction writing end and research writing end about anticipating questions your reader might have, but you can do the same thing in a fiction lens. Who says you can't? There are no rules, only the rules you choose to follow that day. Therefore, number 4. The overgiver. Hello, my fellow former and recovering people pleasers. How many times are you saying yes to stuff that you really don't want to do? Or are you trying marketing stuff solely because it worked for someone else and it's really not working for you? How many times are you overgiving to people free copies of your books? Guilty. You don't want to know how many free copies of Bound by Fate and Blood I've given away. Oh my gosh, it's a lot. It's a lot. We call them lost leaders for a reason, do we not? And therefore, where are you also needing to learn how to be an over-receiver? Hello, Uncomfort Zone. How are you? Jenna, this is not so warm and squishy. It's a little cold and stabby. Yes, it is a little bit, isn't it? And not in fun ways for those of you who enjoy the cold. So what can you do to balance it out? Sometimes those of us who are failing on the financial end of financial stability and growth, it's because the world wants to give to us, but are we ready to receive? I know I am. It's called balance. If you've been giving a lot lately, if you've been isolating a lot lately, if you have been feeling overwhelmed, and if you feel like you've sunk all your ships and therefore the night is only going to get longer. The dawn is brighter than you think. And no, that is not a speeding train at the end of the tunnel. Yes, I am saying this to myself as much as I'm saying it to all of you. We've always mattered from the beginning. Let's show the world what a soul bard really can do.